Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today I wanted to share with you a little review and swatch video on the new L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Liquid Lipsticks. These look basically the exact same as their Pro Matte glosses, but they are not the same formula, and the packaging is also frosted. So I got 4 of the shades, which I will swatch on my lips and on the back of my hand so you guys can see the color comparisons. I'll let you know the pros and cons and what I like about it, what I don't. And yeah, it's just gonna be a quick little video. I'm sorry if you can see my window reflected in my glasses. I apologize, there's nothing I can do about it, and I don't want to put my contacts on. Anyways, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and let's get started. I think I will start with the review portion of this video. I'll leave a timestamp to the swatches down below, so if you want to pass by the review, just go look at the timestamp, click on it, and it'll take you right to the swatch portion of this video. These are L'Oreal's newest liquid lipstick release. They're basically the same packaging and design as the Pro Matte glosses, but the formula is completely different. While those ones were like a satin liquid lipstick, these are a full-on matte liquid lipstick. They do have a nice selection of colors. Most of them are more on the neutral side. They didn't go very daring with the color selection, which I thought was interesting, that they didn't have some of those brighter, more bold and vibrant colors, but most of the ones in this range are actually more on the neutral side, so you're not gonna find anything like out of the ordinary. They do go quite deep, basically very neutral, normal colors. These come with 6.3 milliliters, and I think they're around $11 to $12, which is pretty pricey at the drugstore. So I recommend you pick them up on sale if you can find them, because it is more on the higher end at the drugstore. But L'Oreal, again, is more of a pricier drugstore brand, I find, so was to be expected. Formula wise, I'm actually a huge fan of these. These are probably my favorite liquid lipstick formula, and I know I just did that video on liquid lipsticks available at the drugstore. I kind of did a review and comparison video, but then the drugstore came out with a whole bunch of new liquid lipsticks, so I feel like I need to do a part 2 of that video. The L'Oreal ones came out, the Maybelline liquid lipsticks came out, the e.l.f. ones launched, so there's just so many new liquid lipsticks at the drugstore. But from all of the ones that I've tried, I think this is my favorite formula. They are super pigmented. They have like one swipe, full on color. Out of the shades I've tried, there's no patchiness, there's no streakiness. You don't need to keep layering it on. They do take a while to dry, but they do dry down. They are completely transfer proof as well. I'm just gonna kiss the back of my hand to show you. No transfer. There's nothing that transferred off. There's like a little bit of a crumb, but I have been wearing this already for about 6 hours, I'd say. 6 hours, and this is what it looks like, so it's really good. They last forever on the lips. I think it was the one I'm wearing right now. The one I'm wearing right now is called Cowboy, and I wore this yesterday from 6 in the morning till 11:30 at night, and it was on my lips the entire time. Like maybe it just wore away a little bit in the inside of my mouth, but it was still on my lips, and it was barely noticeable that it was wearing away. So they are extremely, extremely long lasting. They don't crumble off. They don't like fade or feather. And the last thing I really love about these is don't make my lips feel dry at all. Like I said, I wore it from 6 a.m. to 11:30 last night, and it didn't make my lips feel dry at all. Such a nice formula. I love this formula so much. I really don't have anything negative to say about this product, except that I wish they had more brighter shades. They don't really have that much variety in their shade selection, but that's really the only downside to this product. It does smell kind of sweet, kind of like cookie dough or cake batter. I'm pretty sure this is the exact same applicator as the Pro Matte glosses. Angled doe foot applicator. It has a nice triangle shape to it, and it also has a pocket in the middle, which is nice because it collects the product in, so you don't need to keep dipping back in. I just love this product so much. I know I've only tried 4 of the shades, so I can't say about like the streakiness of the darker shades. I can only like attest to these 4, which I'll show you in a second, but I love these, and I would highly recommend you guys pick these up. At least try one of the shades. You really have to try it on to understand what I'm talking about, because it's just such an amazing formula. One thing I could tell you about it that might be a con to some people is they don't transfer, and they don't really feel sticky. They don't make my lips like stick together like some matte lipsticks do, but they do feel kind of sticky when you touch it. Not really sticky, but I don't know, just like a little bit moist. That's kind of a gross way to describe it, but they do feel a little bit moist. Even so, they don't transfer onto my fingers like at all. I think the reason they feel that way is because they are not drying on my lips. I don't know how to describe it. It's like sort of sticky and sort of just like hydrated, but it doesn't transfer and it lasts forever. It does look, for the most part, matte. It maybe has a little bit of a shine to it, but again, I think that's why it doesn't feel dry on my lips. I think they like got rid of some of the matteness to make it more comfortable, but really that's the only thing I can see that people might have a qualm with. Is that the right word? I don't know. I wish they were a little bit more affordable at the drugstore. One downside to the packaging, which I should probably mention before I go on to the swatches, is that it is a frosted tube. And the problem with that is, even though you can see the color through it, it doesn't really match what pops up on your lips that much. It looks a little bit lighter in the tube than it ends up on my lips, which can be a problem because you don't really get testers at the drugstore. But that's just something to keep in mind, especially this shade right here, the shade in Plum Bum. Plum Bum, is that what it's called? Yeah, the shade is a lot lighter and more mauve, and then it turns out very plum and very dark on my lips. So I just thought I'd let you guys know about that. It can be a bit deceiving when you're at the drugstore and you don't have testers. But again, that's just a packaging thing. You can always look up swatches online before you buy so you know what you're getting. Overall, I love these. I would highly recommend them. They are my new favorite drugstore liquid lipstick formula. So I want to jump into the swatches now and I'll show you guys them on my lips so you can see. So the first one I want to show you is actually the one I'm wearing on my lips right now. This is in the shade Cowboy. This is one of their more nude shades, but it's definitely deeper than a typical nude, and it's got a nice warm brown vibe to it. I think it looks really good with medium skin tones. If you had a little bit more of a deeper complexion, it might show up a little bit more nude on your lips, but it's one of my favorite colors to wear. I love warm browns. I think it'd also be really pretty in the fall time. Love this one, definitely my favorite one that I purchased. This next one I have on is called Shake Down. This is another one where I thought it was going to be a lot lighter, but then it turned out very deep and very dark on my lips. It's almost like a plum brown, but I love it as well. If you're into these darker brown shades, I think you would really like this one. It would also be really pretty in the fall time. I feel like the drugstore is just coming out with a lot of fall appropriate products these days, so this is another one that I would totally wear in the fall time. And there's no streakiness, there's no patchiness, it's just a very nice plummy brown. This next one is called Plum Bum. This is a very, very rich, dark plum shade. I actually really love this one. This is probably my second favorite, and it's gonna be perfect for the fall, like all of these shades, but I really like it. And if you're into plum deeper tones, I think this is a really great option. I know this application sucks. These, I should have added that earlier, these are a pain to remove. Oh my gosh, they hurt so bad. Once they set, they're like set, and you really gotta scrub your lips. I'm using Bioderma in a makeup wipe to remove it. And oh my god, my lips are so sore right now. So that is a downside for sure. Removing these off your lips is a pain in the derriere. Okay, this last one is their red shade, and this is in the shade Matador. It always reminds me of the Matterhorn bobsled ride at Disneyland, which I think is shut down, but this is called the Matador. This is a very brick red, and more of like a burnt sort of red rather than a traditional blue toned red. I prefer these types of reds on my skin tone. I always like to look for reds that are not gonna get all over my chin and bleed everywhere. I find red is the hardest lip color to pull off after you eat or after you drink. Like, there's just red lipstick everywhere by the end of the day, and this one doesn't do that for me. I like this one a lot for that reason. I also wanted to add, I know I've already added one thing that I found out was kind of annoying, which was taking them off, but I also wanted to add that I really recommend you do the like thumb thingy where you pull off the lipstick that could possibly get onto your teeth, because although these do eventually dry down to transfer proof lipstick, originally when you're first applying them, before they actually set, you can get lipstick all over your teeth. I thought I'd point that out. You do probably want to do the thumb thing, and once it sets, it is on there for life and it'll last you through hurricane. Just kind of ready to give my lips a rest and stop scrubbing them dry, trying to remove these lipsticks. So I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed this and found it helpful. If you're interested in trying any of the Infallible, L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte liquid lipsticks, I would definitely recommend you do. Get at least one of the shades. It's such a great formula. It's really amazing that the drugstore is able to come up with a formula formula like this. I think it's so high quality. Definitely my favorite liquid lipstick formula at the drugstore currently. I mean, they keep coming out with more. I might find a new favorite next week. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you would like to see more videos, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!